Hello everyone and welcome to today's race with 949 Sim Racing. It's a 2-hour race at Silverstone with driver swap, which is a new thing for 949. They haven't done this before. As this race gets underway, you can see the range of vehicles that we have this race. We have Porsche up front, then Audi, Bentley, McLaren, BMW, and then finally Nissan. So coming up to the arena, we have the 64 Porsche in the lead, and then the 905 Audi being harassed by the 44 Bentley straight off the bat. So as we exit the arena, going down the straight, you can see that everyone got through the first series of corners quite clean. The 905 Audi got a good tow off the 64 Porsche, which overtook it before it came into the next corner. Bentley got a good run on the Porsche, but couldn't make the pass by the next corner, being on the outside line. So he concedes the position, comes across the other side of the Porsche down to Brooklands, which allows him to be on the outside for Brooklands, but due to the being a chicane, it puts him on the inside for Luffield. This allows him to have the position away from Porsche. So as we come down through to Cops Corner, you can still see everyone is running pretty close to each other in a single line. No serious drama yet. But as we move into Maggots and Beckett's, we can see that the 887 Bentley and the McLaren are starting to battle for position, and the Bentley in front is just holding them up as the BMW starts pulling away. I suspect there was a little bit of an incident because the 887 Bentley has fallen behind, and with his bonnet being dislodged, I take it as he's had a little bit of an accident, and that's allowed the 47 Nissan to be all over the rear bumper. As they're coming up to Abbey, the 47 Nissan took it on the inside of the corner and then start pulling away as it starts going through farm and coming into the arena. As you can see, the Bentley has fallen further behind. And let's take a second to appreciate that livery that's on the 47 Nissan, done by Chris PK. So now we ride along the 64 Porsche coming up to the tight right hander of the village corner, and look at that closing speed. Nearly hit the Audi in front and pushed the Bentley out wide, but it was all clean, no collisions. And then comes around the left hand to follow the Audi around to the next corner, which is completely flat out. So looking at this closing speed, you've got the Bentley on the left, and look how close he gets to that Audi without even hitting. Very well done to avoid that Audi, and it was amazing to see all that clean and no bumping about. The Bentley driver showed very good awareness of what cars were around him on the track. So coming into Stowe, we got the Porsche going up the inside of the Bentley, and then just in the background we see the McLaren losing the tail end but managed to keep it steady. So coming down to the chicane before Club Corner, we have the Bentley on the outside. He's got his nose as a front, but he just can't quite make it, which makes him on the inside for the next part, but the Porsche is too far ahead and managed to pull away. But it also allowed Sakame to get right on the back of the Bentley on the exit. So again, coming down the hangar straight, we got the Bentley on the outside for Stowe Corner, but then he goes from the outside to the inside of the Porsche and takes a position and starts pulling away, but the Porsche is not giving up yet. He's still right on the back end of that Bentley, and then dives on the inside of the Bentley for the next corner, but the Bentley's got the inside line for the exit of the chicane. So the McLaren's on the inside of the Porsche coming around Brooks Corner, and the McLaren tags the Porsche and puts the Porsche into a spin, which now takes the Porsche out of the battle with the Bentley. So now we ride on top of the Audi as the Bentley goes up the outside line of the Vale, coming into the next chicane, which is proven to be the best overtaking opportunity of this race. And look how close that Bentley gets to that Audi, nearly tagging him and putting the Audi out of position. But the Audi has managed to pull away from Club Corner and get away. So now we ride on the side of the Bentley. As we can see, they're still trying to overtake the 905 Audi going through village, and on the exit you can see that the Bentley just starts losing it, and then you can see the McLaren come up the inside and take an opportunity that the Bentley is starting to lose. Whew, right, breather. So now we coming down the hangar straight, we can see the 999 Bentley and the wheel tracks of the 47 Nissan as it comes down to Stowe, and he goes down the inside line, and there's a nice clean overtake by that Bentley, keeping way out of trouble. The 99 Bentley, I think, had an incident and he was out of position, so it was good for the 47 Nissan to just let him pass as he now goes through the chicane and up the club. So from the mid of the field to the front of the field, we have three cars battling for the lead as we come around Stowe Corner. We got the Audi, the McLaren and the Bentley and just hanging in the back, and look at that lunge that the McLaren's taking up coming around to the chicane and makes it stick, which is unbelievable. So now we're now running McLaren, Audi and Bentley with, I did notice the BMW was just lingering in the background, and it was good of that Audi not to turn in anymore to then cause a big pile up in that corner. But that was an almighty lunge, and well done for making this stick. It must have been an instant now, because Jay Smith is now fallen to 5th position, battling behind the 999 Bentley, which has overtaken him in the last corner by the looks of it. So I'm curious of what happened there, but don't think we can find that replay. Don't count that Audi out yet though, because he's still all over the back of that Bentley as they come down the Vale and start coming into the next chicane. Look at the closing gap on that Audi, so much better than what that Bentley is doing. So now as we ride on the helicopter, we can see that that Bentley is all over that McLaren after the pit stops. And as it comes up to the next corner, the Bentley takes the position from the McLaren and comes in. And the McLaren seems to be having a few issues because with the technicalities there, it just seemed a bit odd. So McLaren's dropped down in second and Bentley is now in first. So there was drama in the pits for the 47 Nissan. They ended up having to serve a drive-through penalty due to a lobby issue. The first driver exceeded his 60-minute stint, which was a mistake. They shouldn't have been there, but you'll see later in the race there was a load of DQs because of it. And then after that they had a stop-and-go penalty, which they had to serve those penalties before initially doing the driver change. But then when they finally managed to get the driver change done, as you can see, this is the footage from the driver at the time. He got into the car and the camera just didn't change. It carried on looking like this. So he then had an issue. He couldn't drive. So he returned the car to the pits. And then it finally allowed him to get back into the cab, which you will see in a sec, for him to be able to finally get out on track and start with this stint. But because of this issue, they couldn't repair the car when he was in the pits, and he ended up with damage coming out of the pits. And yeah, just problems with the 47 Nissan, which is a real shame because they were running in the middle, and because of this issue, the 2 penalties they had to serve, and then the issues with the driver swap, it knocked them 3 laps down from where they were. So they were lapped 3 times. So now back to the race. We have the BMW coming down on the McLaren. The new McLaren driver doesn't seem to be at all comfortable with the car. As they come into stow, you got the BMW going the long way around, which initially doesn't allow him to get the position, but as they start coming down the Vale, the BMW initially seemed to have had the better drive out and takes the inside line for the chicane and drives away from the McLaren. This now means that we run in the 44 Bentley first, the BMW second, and the 36 McLaren third. Again, more difficulties for that McLaren as the 905 Audi is really on the rear end coming down into Brooklands, goes around the outside, and the McLaren's not giving up yet. But now the Audi's be on the inside for the next corner. The Audi is running across that rumble strip, but that McLaren is not letting him through and bumps him on the inside. But because the McLaren's now bounced back out to the inside, that Audi is able to get through on the inside of the corner and take the position and drive away. Now as we continue further up the road, the Audi for some reason got his hazards on. It's definitely not his pit limiter because he is running some serious pace. He's really starting to catch that BMW in front as they start running up to Maggots and Beckett's. But the BMW just managed to stay ahead, as you can see, keeping a nice distance, and so he's just managing the Audi and stopping him from being able to get a good run out and overtaking. Now let's take a moment to really appreciate how good this game looks in the dark. Look at the exhaust pipe on the sides of that BMW, and then as the Audi comes around, look at the exhaust glow on the back of the Audi from both of his pipes in the center of the car. So now look how close that Audi is to that BMW as it was coming around the chicane before Club Corner, and when that camera finally pans around, you can see that the Audi is right alongside that BMW as it comes through Abbey. Audi is now on the inside line, and I think the Audi might just take the BMW as it comes down the straight, which it does look like it has from Woodcote, and coming up to Cops Corner. So now 1, 2, 3 is accompanied by Bentley, Audi and BMW, but don't count that BMW out yet. He's still on the rear end of that Audi. He hasn't let him get away yet, but it does look like that Audi is going to get away. So now back down to 6th position, you can see the Bentley is really catching up to that Porsche, and as it comes around you can see the exhaust tips on that Bentley. He is driving the wheels off that Bentley to catch that Porsche. But as we come around the corner now, you can see that the Porsche makes a mistake and Bentley goes shooting up the inside. Position gain, that Bentley's moved up to 5th and now the Porsche is moved down to 6th. But don't count that Porsche out yet, because that Porsche is still all over the rear bumper of that Bentley as they come in down the straights. Remember that battle in second? Well, the BMW seems to be catching up to that Audi rather fast as they come round the next corner. That BMW, look at the exhaust tips on it, look at the centre light, the game just looks completely gorgeous in the dark. That Audi seems to have either had a bad run out of the corner or it might be having a problem, as that BMW starts coming round and just looks like it's about to get ready to look for a position around that Audi. We are now at the point where it comes down to pure driver skill, who's good in the dark and who's not good in the dark, because those lights can really be blinding in those mirrors. So now again, while we wait for the camera to pan around, you can see that that BMW is getting ever so close to that Audi. I don't know if it's a matter of when or a matter of if that BMW can pass the Audi, but it definitely looks like it's going to be coming close as they're approaching the next right hand at Stowe. And the Audi looked like it was a little bit twitchy on the rear end, but that BMW looks like it's really screwed up his opportunity to get around that Audi by going really wide. That poor Audi really looks like it's been through the wars today. So now we're approaching the race finish, and this is where things got really weird. So this is really the best way to explain it. Look at the leaderboard now, and that should be how everyone has come. But due to the way the lobby was set up, everyone ended up over the 60-minute driver stint, and you can't pit on the exact 60-minute mark. So everyone ended up with drive-throughs, and because no one was able to clear their drive-through by the time it came to the race end, just everyone got disqualified. But yeah, I just want to take the opportunity while we take a lap around Silverstone in the dark that can you please leave a comment in the comment section and give me criticism on what things I could do to make these videos better. I'm mainly going to stick with the highlight reel of videos, because to upload an hour to 2 hour video and talk about it, I will run out of things to say. I'm really new to it, but I would really appreciate some feedback. It was a strange race. I've never done driver swap before, so that was quite fun. And it was the livery that my teammate made. I think it was amazing, and I'd like to do more of these. I know 949's got a series coming up starting next week, I believe, which is just a 1 hour endurance race or sprint race, whichever way you want to look at it. But even though it's teams, you are your individual driver, so there'll be championship points for you as a driver, so a driver championship as well as a team championship, which is another dynamic I'm looking forward to. I also would like to take this opportunity to say thank you to 949 Sim Racing for having me along, and keep up the good work, because these races that you put on are really nice and they're very appreciated by everyone who's involved. I would also say thank you to my teammate, because to be fair to him, he done a brilliant job in the first stint, and I feel like I let us down in the second stint. Yeah, they had a little bit of damage to the car, but I was like completely off where I was running like in practice. So I was usually running like a second quicker, so I was running like low 2-minute 2s, and then I was in like 2-minute 1.3, I think was my fastest. But I was way off the pace of everyone else. But again, thanks everyone for being there, thanks for everyone for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.